Social Media Week Lima 2022. Are you guys excited to co-create? I know I am. So thank you guys for coming here today as we dive into the metaverse. This is an exciting time where I truly believe it's a really good time to be a business because I feel like we can truly outcare the competition today. And we're going to be talking about the metaverse. We're going to be diving into this new commerce, as I like to call it. And we're going to talk about some funky things like NFTs, the metaverse, VR, AR. And some of you may be like, what does this have to do with my business? I'm a restaurant, or I'm a service-based business. But stick with me here. I promise you, it'll all come together. Because as Chad said, my personal mission is to help inspire people to love more, give more, and be more through the art of authentic relating. And I remember even working in the day when I sold cell phones, way back in the day, at the beginning of my career at Verizon. I was talking about text messaging and photo messaging. In that day, people thought I was crazy. They were like, why would I use that when I can just make phone calls? Why would I text or use data or photo? I feel like we're about at that same cusp now when we start thinking about VR, AR, NFTs, and a lot of things you're going to hear today. But it's not about what we do, it's about how we do it, right? And how we're going to evolve into this new world and how we can do this together to co-create because things are changing. They're calling the metaverse Web 3.0, but how did we get there? It first started with Web 1 when the internet changed, where we just got the internet to use it to get information, right? Things started changing for businesses because of infomercials. Anybody bought anything off of infomercial on TV, late nights? I have several things there. But the web's evolved from Web 1.0, like read-only, to then Web 2.0, social media, where now we could read and write for information. And Web 3.0, this is where the co-create comes in. Because now not only can we read and write, but now we can own, we can collaborate, we can make things our own with a brand. We are co-creating with them. So imagine this. Who in here likes Wendy's? All right, imagine this. Imagine that you're in a virtual environment called the Wendy's-verse, where you can go hang out and have a Frosty, and like what I like to do, dip my fries in it, with a friend halfway around the world. And you're sitting in this virtual environment, and then you may want to go shoot some hoops. So you can shoot their Baconators into some hoops, find some Easter eggs to earn some free food, but all in a Wendy's-verse. On April 2nd of this year, they opened this spot. Wendy's, a restaurant, opened it where people can hang out. They can learn about new things that are coming out. They can unlock special codes, but they can have a place to go to eat with their friends. And for real, shoot Baconators and make hoops in there. This is this new world, but why does this matter? Why would Wendy's do this? Why would they spend and invest this money to create this virtual environment where you can't taste the food, but you can experience it with some friends? It's because brands that focus on building experiences have 25% more brand loyalty. They're choosing to invest into outcarrying their competition. And that in turn, because when you're hanging out there with a friend, eating this virtual Frosty with your fry and shooting some hoops, you're laughing, you're talking, you're having an emotional experience while you're there. And all the while, Wendy's is right there with you. And you're creating this experience. And what do we do when we have an experience? Especially those of you that were here last year. Who was here for Dark Social? We talked about it last year. Yeah. Dark Social, what we do when we have an experience with a brand is that we go back and we talk about it with others. And we're not just talking about it now in person, but we change from word of mouth to world of mouth. And what's happening now, though, is we're co-creating and we're having online experiences, is those experiences are now in a more niche community that we're having these conversations in the inbox, in Dark Social. So brands can't always find out the sentiment that somebody feels about them as a brand, because these conversations are happening behind closed doors. In text messaging, they're happening in channels like Discord. They're happening in channels like Voxer or Stories. So word of mouth has changed to now world of mouth, because people are still talking about brands. They still have an opinion, but it's harder for brands to keep up. 62% of people have a stronger relationship with brands that have a digital presence. The brands that invest in showing up to outcare the competition, to have conversation, to listen, to hopefully get invited into that inbox, to have those conversations, are going to build better relationships with the communities that they serve. Because last year we also talked about, when we talked about dark social, and every year that you come to this event, we talk about the power of relationships, right? And that our customers that currently are choosing to work with us, those are who we should invest in, because those are the ones going to spend more money, they're the ones that are going to talk about us more often, and refer us on more often. And now it's about us getting invited into the conversations that they're having about us. How many of you have used Discord? Yeah, there's a lot happening there. Discord is a place where those conversations can take place. So if you want to have a conversation about a specific topic or find out the sentiment that somebody feels about something, tune in, listen in. That's one of the more popular channels. What about Roblox? Anybody's kids in here play Roblox? Yeah. How much money have you spent on that? 500? A lot. Yeah, me too. Yesterday, all day, thank you, Summer, for freeing up my kids. And now, yesterday, I'm getting alerts on my phone that my daughter's trying to buy Roblox, and she needs the parental code. Thank God I put that on to be able to buy Roblox. And I'm like, what is it about this? And I'm like, what are skins that they're buying and things that they're buying for Minecraft and Roblox, and what does it mean? But these are the communities, the experience that people are having. And I want to tell you, like, it's a big one. 143 billion industry is what the Gen Z is spending right now. That's their spending power. 143 billion. Gen Z will surpass baby boomers and millennials in their spending power. This is where they're currently at, because they're spending a lot younger. Now they're spending our money, but they're spending it, okay? So much so, a Gucci bag on Roblox, a Gucci bag sold for $4,000. I'm not talking about a real Gucci bag. I'm talking about a virtual Gucci bag. $4,000. This stuff still has value. A couple other things that'll blow your mind. Travis Scott, held a 9-minute concert, at Fortnite, 9 minutes, attended by 12 million people, and he made $20 million. I said 9 minutes. 9 minutes, he made $20 million, and it was attended by 12 million people virtually. Just wrap our mind around that for a minute. Like, hang out in a virtual space that people show up for. I know I got really into VR around the COVID time because of wanting to have these experiences, one, that you can hang out with others, but I also wanted to see how brands are using this to shrink the distance that they have with their customers. That's really what it's about. I've attended so many different comedy shows in there, where you can literally just go attend a comedy show in a place called Horizons. That's one of the spaces that you can go in. You put on a virtual headset, a VR headset. And we're going to learn a lot more about VR with Mark that's coming up next. He's going to show how brands are using this. But they're using it to shrink the distance between them and their customer. So they're showing up and thinking, how can I participate in this virtual world? And now I'm not going to tell any of you to go spend a buku bucks and build, this amazing virtual space. But I am asking you the question of, what can we do today to shrink the distance between us and our customer? How can we show up to provide better experiences? What does that look like? How can we treat the customers like the VIPs that they are? What can we create and think like them so they feel like a VIP when they're working with us. One of the things that we did at Now Marketing Group started asking ourselves, like, what is it like to work with us? And truly putting ourselves in the mind of our customer. And we realized, like, okay, we have this great onboarding, I'm a little biased, I think, but great onboarding process, but we're asking them to use our tools that we're comfortable with. We're asking them to, go to Google Drive and upload their photos. We're asking them to, use FreshBooks to pay their invoice. We're asking them to remember all these places that they have a million other things that they're doing. So we looked at how can we treat our customers like VIPs and create something that's just for them to simplify working with us and build a better experience. So we created just a client portal. So instead of them using all the different tools, they would log into one place. They would be able to keep track of what we're working on for them. We have automated time tracking so they can see who's working on what at what time, who their account manager is, one place to go pay their bill, to go use to upload things that they're sending back and forth to us, to give approvals. They can submit a ticket. They'll get updates on anything that we're keeping up with in the industry right in one place. While we're not creating a virtual environment to shoot Baconators just yet, that's one step that we could take now to make it a better experience and to treat our customers like VIPs. We also started creating free training videos for them to learn social media and things that are happening and being updated, and they get it right there. We launched a mobile app that many of you have been invited to. And it's not perfect, I'll be honest. The mobile app is not perfect yet, but it's something that we can continue to invest in because this is not going anywhere. This is not changing. The more that we can provide better customer experiences, though, and think of ways that we can remove friction or add delight, that's where we can win out. 92% of people value customization, too, in creating their virtual avatars and just creating opportunities for self-expression. I told you I was getting into VR a lot, especially during COVID where we couldn't hang out. And this was me playing, actually with Mark, miniature golf, because we couldn't be in the same area. So we're playing miniature golf in VR. And you can hang out and then go take a selfie together, though, if you want to. So we had little putt-putt dates in VR. It's a whole other way of connecting. Now, granted, for brands, what could this look like? Walmart now launched where you could go shopping in VR while you're getting your car worked on in the service department. So instead of just selecting items like on Instacart where you're selecting the items one by one, you can actually go see the aisles. They'll tell you what deals are going on, or you could get suggestions on the kind of wine to pair with the pasta that you're getting. And then they'll tell you in your headset when your car's ready to be picked up. How cool is that? You can create your avatar, you can save your favorites. It's adding a level of convenience. The thing about this new metaverse is it does not pause or end. There's no ending point, there's no pause button on this. It's something that's going to continue evolving. 1,257% of people used in-game audio ads to promote, King Disease 2 saw a 1,257% click-through rate on his ad to his website using audio ads. So in marketing, in the new metaverse, people are using audio ads, they're using billboards just like you would in a normal environment, like here, but in a virtual environment. So if you're creating this space in the metaverse, or others have created a space in the metaverse, you can co-create with them. And potentially, like in Wendy's, potentially we could have an audio ad that could go through. Now, granted, they probably wouldn't allow that, but you can look for ways to co-create with others. In-game audio ads, that's one way. Digital billboards, virtual billboards is another way. But they're seeing results from it. After King of Leon's special edition NFT album included enhanced media and limited edition vinyl with it, he had a $2 million sale increase because of his NFT and including special offers in it, treating his customers like the VIPs that they are. So we can look at how can we turn our followers into true fans. This is our guide to relationship marketing. What can we do today on social media to take our followers and turn them into true fans? Is it creating a group? Is it inviting them in to co-create with us, like the Behind the Brand series that we did in the Facebook group? We want to turn our followers into real fans. We want to highlight them, co-create with them, learn more about them. We want to turn our clients into our biggest advocates. We want to introduce new ways of adding experiences and giving them a VIP experience, allowing them to customize the way that they interact with us. We want to turn our community into collaborators. Who can we work with to co-create? Whether it's a live show, a podcast, collaborative blog articles, starting there, and then continual increases of how you are co-creating together. And the biggest one that is most overlooked is turning our team members into our biggest evangelists. This one is the one that makes the shift. Because if we start from the inside out with creating these experiences, we can't create an amazing experience unless we already have an amazing experience to offer, starting from the inside out. Starting with our team and who we're hiring, getting true on what is our brand here to do? What do we want people to feel about us when they're working with us? What do we want them to have as their biggest takeaway from working with us? If we know what we're truly here to do and how we want people to feel about us and what our manifesto is as a brand, then we know who to hire, who to work with, who we want to draw in as those clients. So we know what kind of experiences to offer, so we're not trying to be everything to everyone. And what happens when we have this great result of knowing who we are, knowing who we want to hire, knowing who we want to work with, and we treat them like the VIPs that we were talking about, and out carrying the competition, it creates a flywheel effect of growing our brands. More people are referring you on. You have to spend less money in ads because people are talking positively about you. Now Google is ranking on sentiment. Social media is ranking on sentiment and how many people are engaging with you and your content. So when we truly do focus on out-carrying the competition, that is going to help grow our brand sustainably. Out-care, many of you have maybe heard me say this before, but CARE stands for how do we capture attention, starting from the inside out? How do we articulate our message and let people know what we're truly here to do? How are we turning those relationships to repeat and referral business? How are we focusing in on the clients that we already are working with? And what kind of exceptional experiences are we going to offer? Out-care the competition, and you can grow your brand. Because relationships are the currency of business, I believe, and experiences are the transactions that we're exchanging for that. How are we making people feel? How are we building relationships with them? Relationships are that currency in business. That's the one thing that's going to keep people around. So how do you get started now in the metaverse? If we're talking this out and saying, okay, I'm here right now, I've never even put on a VR headset. I don't know what NFT stands for. I have no idea what any of this stuff means. That's okay. Here's where you start. First, start getting involved natively. Download an app. Get a headset. Borrow one from one of your kids, if they have it. Start checking this stuff out. Listen to a podcast, because it's not going away. It does not pause. It does not end. It's the text messaging of that generation where people are like, I just need my phone to make phone calls. It is not going away. It is growing, and it's better for us to get involved now and just learn about it. So 1, get involved natively. 2, create opportunities to bring real world online. What can you do in your business today that is done in person that you could potentially do online and create a better experience? Maybe it's a discovery process. That's one thing that we did. When we did our discovery with clients, we brought that online. We give them the opportunity of changing their plan with us now online. We brought client feedback online. Different things that you can create that you're doing right now in the real world. What can you bring online? The third thing is virtual goods. What kind of virtual goods can you offer to enhance experiences? You'll learn about NFTs from Brian. He's going to tell you a lot about that. So you can learn how that works and how you can co-create with your customers. It could even be right now like that you're offering points or things like that to get swag for your company or whatever you're offering them in exchange rewards. I'm sure you've seen that in many apps that you've downloaded. Many companies are offering rewards to their clients. The next is create your own space and experiences. That's kind of the next evolution. How can we create our own space virtually? Whether that's, again, your app, maybe you create an app. There's so many tools out there to make it stupid simple and easy to create an app right now. And Mark's going to talk about here in just a few minutes about how his students are creating VR experiences for businesses here locally. There's many schools that you can get involved with, so you don't have to spend a lot of money on this. The next is create VIP experiences and goods. What can you do that you can create to reward the people that already love working with you and just empower them to want to do more and want to connect with you more and want to talk about you more? What can you create? I've said this before too, and I'll say it again, but I believe it's not what we do, but it's how we do it. It doesn't matter what industry we're in. There's somebody else that does that thing, and what's going to make you stand out is how you are doing it, how you're showing up. So if we focus on how we're showing up, how we're making people feel, what experiences that we're providing to them, how we're creating this relationship with them and truly caring about their relationship, not just with our customers, not just for a new sale, but our community and our team members. Many people are struggling to find really top talent, and I had lots of conversations last night about that. They were like, can you leave some good people for us? Because you have a good team. And I was like, absolutely not. I want them all. Because it is hard to find good people, and it costs a lot to train them, and even more, to keep them. But it costs your business a lot more to hire the wrong people. And the Great Resignation, that's real. When people were leaving after 2020 and they realized, I really enjoyed not being treated like crap and staying home instead. And I really don't want to work for a company that doesn't care. So when we really, truly do care, we will find that top talent. We will empower them to want to do more for us as well. One of the things that we did is take off Fridays from the team so they could enjoy more time with their families. And they get off early on Fridays. And many of the clients were asking, did you see an impact of that? And I was like, yeah, I seen a big impact of that. Actually, we got more done. By reducing hours, we were able to do more. It was crazy. And I get retail, not everybody can shut down at different times, but more and more businesses are doing it. And they're seeing the results profitably from doing so. Doing what's right, not what's easy, will always win. Starting from the inside out with our business, I want to give you a framework for you to do this and to create this on your own, to think about co-creating, to think about how can we build the plan to outcare the competition, to build our manifesto, a team culture, all the things there, looking for alignment and how we can outcare the competition. I want to give you this QR code if you guys want to scan it. It'll also be available in the group for you to download and get this workbook for free. We'll walk you through the steps of how you can outcare the competition. I want to invite you to have an open mind this week as you learn more and more about entering the Metaverse and how we can co-create together. And my goal for all of us is to grow and to truly have a most profitable year in years yet, but also to feel good about it by outcarrying the competition. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of today. Excited.